To start off, I'm in a position where I'm lying with my upper back propped up on something. This could be a foam roller, it could be a rolled blanket, it could be a block, a yoga block with a blanket over top of it. I don't remember what exactly I'm using there. Maybe sandals. I've put stacked sandals and put them in my back. The important thing is that you have something in your upper back that feels like your muscles can relax. So take your feet the width of your mat. Let your knees knock in towards each other to encourage the internal rotation. Put your hands behind your head at the base of your skull. So as you let your tailbone drop towards the floor and whatever's in your back, ideally foam roller, allow it to start to move in and let your back start to bend over it. But keep lengthening the back of your skull away from it so as to lengthen your neck. Now maintain that length, like your tailbone and the back of your head are moving away from each other, and stretch one leg out along the floor. Try not to let your belly push out, deepen your low abs, and then stretch the other leg out. Push through the heels into the toe mounds. Roll your inner thighs down so your toes point straight up. Continue to allow the upper spine to move. Now raise your arms up and slowly start to take your arms overhead without your frontal ribs lifting way up. So allow the top chest to lift and spread, but draw your front bottom ribs down towards your hip bones. As you press through your heels, reach your arms all the way overhead. Turn the triceps towards each other. Reach past your fingers. Continue to move the upper spine in. Allow the block or the roll, whatever you have in your upper back, to start to move in. Bring your arms back up. Encourage the external rotation. Turn the triceps towards each other and slowly start to take your arms overhead again. Keep reaching through your feet. Allow the top chest to lift and spread. Draw your front ribs back in. Draw your navel in towards the front of your spine. And as you press through your heels, continue to descend your thigh bones as if someone was like standing on your thighs. Bring your arms back up and to your side. Bend one knee, roll over to the side, and move the props to the side. That's what it was. Birkenstock sandals, a t-shirt, and a beanie all stacked up on top of each other. You don't have to use that exact proppage. A block with a blanket on top of it will do fine. So now lie on your back for a moment. Take your arms back up. Now bend your elbows. So we're going to teach the arms how to help with the movement of the spine. So now turn your triceps in towards each other to encourage external rotation. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other without recruiting the upper traps, the muscles at the base of your neck. So keep your collarbones broad. Now with your elbows squeezed in, start to stretch your arms back towards the wall behind you, or whatever's behind you. But keep the elbows turned in. Notice how my elbows want to go out wide. Don't let your elbows do that. Keep the elbows squeezed in and then bring the elbows back over your shoulders. So you're just stretching your hands back, keeping your arms bent. So keeping the elbows in, start to move them back over your head. Keep the squeeze in on the back of your armpit. Squeeze your elbows in. Move your hands further away from each other. So this is firing the external rotators. Then bring the elbows back over your shoulders. One more time. Slowly start to take the elbows back overhead. Keep the elbows turned in. Keep the hands wide. Squeeze in the back of your armpit. And now slowly bring your elbows right back over your shoulders. Take your arms back up. Bring the arms to your side. Roll over to your side. Press yourself up. And come onto your hands and your knees. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Now wiggle the knees back just slightly and balance the weight across your hands. As you inhale, arch your back, and right where that whatever was in your upper back, move the upper spine in there, right where the block or the roll or whatever you had in your back. And as you exhale, round out your back, pull your belly in, look back at your belly, tuck your butt under. Inhale, arch your back, pull your chest through your arms, pull your heart forward and lift your sternum. Take an extra breath here to move the upper spine And then as you exhale, round the back, spread the shoulder blades, press the floor down, pull your belly in. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round it out. Draw your navel in, spread your blades. Inhale, cow position, arch your back, pull your chest through. Exhale. Now come into a neutral spine. Hold the neutral spine and send one leg back. Internally rotate the thigh, spin the inner thigh up, push through the heel, try not to let your hips twist. Now take the opposite arm forward. So I took my left leg back, my right arm forward. Now try to keep your hips level. Look back at your hips, notice that the left hip wants to lift up, try not to let it, make it balance with the right. Lower your hand and your knee back down. Now send your other leg back, I'm taking my right leg back. Keep the hips even. Then take the other arm forward, opposite arm. Try not to let the hips twist. Balance evenly between your right hand and your left knee. Lower your hand and knee back down. Now with the breath, inhale, left leg, right arm forward. Exhale, lower back down. Stay stable, steady in your middle. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, lower back down. Now scoot the knees back a little bit. Bend your elbows out to the side. Now squeeze the outer arms in. Externally rotate your arms. Squeeze in the back of the armpit. And then start to straighten your arms, keeping that squeeze in the back of the armpit. Pull your belly up. Pull your sternum forward. Broaden across your upper back and collarbones. Now bring one leg into plank position. Curl the toes under and lift the knee. And then lower that leg and try the other leg. Practice stability on your hands. So you're teaching your arms what to do when you're balancing weight over them. Now try to take both legs back at the same time. Balance across the hands evenly. Shift forward and lower slowly to chaturanga. Keep the elbows squeezed in. Lift straight back up to plank position. Slowly press back to downward facing dog. Reach into your knuckles and your fingerprints. Notice that when you're in down dog, the weight just wants to fall into your wrists. Instead, lift up through the wrist, lift the forearms, and press more into the knuckles and fingertips. Lift your buttock bones up high and move your hips further from your wrist. Lift the buttock bones and spread them, but then firm in on your outer hips. Let your head drop, but keep the lift of the forearms. Bring your feet a little closer together and step your right foot all the way up in between your hands. Lower your back knee down to the floor. Press your left shin down, roll your inner left thigh back, and bring your hands to your right knee and upright your chest. As you roll your inner left thigh back, let your tailbone drop towards your right heel, and then lift your belly up and reach your arms up. Breathe in and out through your nose. Smooth, steady breathing. Bring your hands back down. Now straighten the right leg. Slide the heel forward a few inches. So you want your hips to stack right over your left knee. And as you straighten your right leg, push through your big toe mound on your right foot, but then pull up through your inner leg, through the inner arch, up through the inner leg, up into the hip socket. Pull up your belly and move your sternum forward. See if you can crawl your hands a little further forward so you can start to aim your chest towards your big toe. Then rebend your right leg, curl your back toes under, and lift your back knee out. Without twisting your hips, plant your left hand flat, turn your chest, and take your right arm up. Press down into the inner left hand, lift up on the inner left arm, spin it forward, spin the bicep forward. Now spread your arms and open your chest. Bring your right hand back down. Step back to downward facing dog. Bring your left knee up to your chest, shift into plank position, pull your knee all the way up, and step your foot close to your left thumb. Lower your back knee down to the floor, slide it back just a little bit until you start to feel a stretch in the front of your hip. Point the toes back, and as you spin the inner right thigh back, let the tail drop towards your heel, lift your belly, bring your hands to your knee and upright your chest. Take your arms forward without sinking in your middle, then raise the arms up overhead. Practice externally rotating your arms. So squeeze the triceps in, turn the triceps towards each other. Reach up past your fingers. Bring your hands back to the mat and straighten your left leg out. Slide your left heel forward a few inches. Flex the foot, pull the toes back towards your face, and press through the big toe mount on your left foot like you're pushing a gas pedal. And at the same time, imagine that you could draw a line of energy from that big toe mound all the way up into your hip socket, or just think from the inner arch pulling up through the inner leg. Lift up your low abs and pull your heart forward. Lift and spread your butt bones. Try to move the inner buttock bones back. Firm in with your legs and move your heart forward. See if you can crawl your hands just a little bit further forward. Keep your left hip hugged in. Now rebend your left leg. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. Plant the right hand flat on the mat. Take your left arm up. Try not to let the hips twist as you turn your chest and take your left arm up. Lift your back knee up away from the floor and find a long line from your back heel all the way out through the crown of your head to the highest point of your head. So as you inhale, find more length, and as you exhale, turn your ribs and your chest more. Keep the back leg lifting, bend the left leg just a little bit deeper. Bring your left hand back down. Step back to downward facing dog. Plank position. Hold in your plank. Now shift your whole body forward. Lower slowly to chaturanga, elbows hug in. Then lower all the way to your belly. Flip your toes back. Bring your hands to your side. Reach back to your big toes and spin the fronts of the thighs towards each other. Lift your legs up just an inch. Lift your belly up. Lift your head, chest, arms up. Shalabhasana. Stretch back through your fingers, through your toes. And now squeeze the triceps in towards each other. Turn the triceps in. Keep stretching your toes. Bring your hands to your side, right next to your side bottom ribs. And put the hands underneath the elbows. Turn the triceps in towards each other again. Shoulder blades on your back. Turn the elbows in without gripping your neck. Keep stretching your toes strong. Lift up your inner knees. 3 more breaths here. Pull up your belly. Lift the shoulder tips away from the floor and press the back of the skull back. Now press into up dog. Roll your chest forward and up, but your shoulder blades are going to try to leave your back. Keep them on your back. Downward rotation of the scapula. Move the shoulder tips back and press the blades in. Then move back to downward facing dog. Breathe evenly in and out through your nose. Walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. Grab a hold of your elbows and let your head hang. Put just a little bend in your knees here and balance the weight evenly across your feet. One more stretch. Interlace your hands behind your back. Slide the hands towards the sacrum so the elbows are bent. And then turn the triceps, the elbows towards each other. Without locking your elbows, start to lift the hands up off the sacrum towards the ceiling or the sky. And as you fold forward, keep the rotation of the arms, keep the turn of the triceps. Bring your hands to your hips and come on up to stand. Arms to your side. Stand straight and tall. Tadasana, mountain pose. So as you stand in Tadasana today, turn the palms to face forward and spin the inner arms out. Turn the triceps towards each other. Externally rotate your arms and broaden across your collarbones. The more you do that, the more your middle and your ribs are going to want to push out. So move your thighs back, pull your belly in, press down through your heels, buttocks towards the heels. Now inhale, take your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create a flat back, pull your heart forward. Plant your hands and step back to plank position. Lower slowly to chaturanga, knees down or not. I'm doing knees down because I'm rehabbing my elbow. Then lie on your belly and inhale into baby cobra. So work baby cobra variation with the toes up and in, stretch back through your toes. Press back up into plank position on your hands and your knees or with your legs straight. And take downward facing dog. Stretch the fingers and toes forward. Take your thigh bones back. Look in between your hands and walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Root into the feet and inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms back to your side. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step back, plank. Shift forward and lower slowly to chaturanga, knees down or legs straight. Inhale, low cobra. Stretch the toes back. Turn the fronts of the thighs towards each other. Press up onto hands and knees. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale the arms back to your side. Inhale, arms out to the side. Rotate the triceps towards each other as you reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back to plank position. Lower to chaturanga. Lie on your belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Toes up variation. Legs straight. Lift your low abs and lift your shoulder tips. Lower back down. Press up onto your hands and your knees. Curl your toes under and take downward facing dog. So this is a great way to practice if you have an arm injury, a shoulder injury, wrist, elbow, with the knees down variations. It's a little bit safer. Walk your feet to the front of the mat and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale the arms to the side. Step your left foot back about 4.5 feet and parallel your feet, spread your arms out to the side. Turn your legs to the right for triangle pose. So turn the right leg all the way out, pivot the left foot in slightly. If you look down at your right leg, turn the thigh so much that the knee points over the second toe. And now reach out over your right leg. Triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. So my feet are lined up heel to arch. My back foot is angled in slightly. My right foot's turned all the way out. Right leg's turned all the way out. Press evenly into your feet and lift up through your inner legs all the way up into your buttock bones. Lift the low abdominals, lift your sternum, and broaden your top chest. Now internally rotate your left arm and take it behind your back. Bend your right leg and step into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Put your right hand a foot in front of your pinky toe. Now with your hand behind your back, use it to feel what your right hip is doing. As you spin your inner right thigh forward, use your hand to make sure that your hip is hugging in right over your ankle. Then roll your left shoulder back, open your chest, and maybe take the left arm up as we hold here. Steady the breath through the nose. Lift the back leg up so it matches the angle of the torso or the spine. Press strong through the left heel. Now bend the right leg. Take a big step back into triangle pose. Then press into your feet and come back up to stand. Turn your legs to the other side. Turn the left leg all the way out. Turn the right leg in slightly. And reach out over your left leg. So make sure that the feet are heel to arch again. Look at the rotation of the left thigh. It's turned so that the knee points to line with the second toe. Now internally rotate your right arm and wrap it behind your back. Bend your left leg. Put your left hand a foot in front of your pinky toe and step up. Once you're up, you're going to notice that the weight wants to wobble around your left foot. Press more into your inner left foot. Hug your left hip in. Now roll the right shoulder back as you open up your chest. Take the right arm up. Stay balanced across the left foot. Energize and reach through your right heel. Keep squeezing your left hip in. Couple more breaths here. Spread the arms to open the chest. Keep the length through your low back. Keep the left hip hugged in. Bend your left leg. Take a step back into triangle pose. Press into the feet and inhale, come back up. Turn your left toes in and hop your feet together. Stand in mountain pose, Tadasana. Stand for a moment. Balance the weight across the feet. Balance between your heels and your toe mounds. Then separate your legs wide apart again. This time, pivot your back foot in a little more than halfway as you turn the right leg all the way out. So you turn your whole body to face your right leg. Bring your knuckles together in your upper back and roll your shoulders back as you open your chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold out over your right leg halfway. Pause there. Press evenly into your feet. Balance the weight across your feet. And now lift up through your inner legs and see if you can get some more movement in your pelvis. So get the hips to help you tip over your right leg. Lift the buttock bones. Squeeze in on your outer hips, draw your belly in, and fold deeper over your right leg all the way, chin to your shin now. Then inhale, make a flat back. Stretch your arms straight back behind you. Bend your right leg. Keep rooting through your back heel. Inhale, come on up, warrior one, reach your arms up. Press through the back heel through the floor. Spin your inner upper left thigh back. And as you do that, lift up your belly, lengthen through the front of your left hip. Now see if you can bend your right leg a little bit deeper and start to firm your left buttock in as the inner left thigh moves back. Good. Come back up and turn your legs to the other side. Turn the left leg all the way out, pivot the right foot in a little more than halfway, a little more than 45 degrees. Bring your knuckles together in your upper back and roll your shoulders back, open your chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold out halfway out over your leg. Pause there. See if you can get a flat back. So aim the inner buttock bones straight back. And then pull your side chest forward. Balance evenly across your feet. Lift up through your inner and outer arches. Good. Now start to fold forward, but try not to just round in your back, in your upper back. So get the pelvis to help you move. So instead of that buttock bones just aiming straight back, now they're going to have to lift and spread, but then squeeze in on your hips without losing the lift of the butt bones. Move your chin to your shin. Inhale, flat back, stretch the arms straight back, turn the triceps like in Shalabhasana. Bend your left leg towards 90. Keep rooting through your back heel. Now come upright, lift the belly, chest, take your arms up, warrior one. Watch your breath in and out through your nose. Connect the lift of the chest through the arms. Keep driving through the back heel. Now bend the left leg a little bit deeper. As you roll your inner right thigh back, firm your right middle buttock in to help take you deeper into the pose. Good, then come back up. Straighten your leg, turn your toes in so your feet are parallel. Interlace your hands behind your back and fold forward. Prasarita Padottanasana C. Lean the weight forward a bit so that you're balanced between your heels and your toe mounds. Lift up through the inner legs. Then inhale, come back up. Step to the front of the mat. Samastiti Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step your left leg back for warrior one. So line up the feet heel to heel. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands back to the mat. Step your back leg forward. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step your right leg back. Inhale, warrior one, reach your arms up. Exhale, fingertips back to the mat. Step your back leg forward. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, arms to your side, Samastiti. One more modified B. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your left leg back. Warrior one. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fingertips back to the mat. Step your back leg forward. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your right leg back. Warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands back to the mat. Step your back leg forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Hold there, 5 breaths. So feel all the heat that you just built through doing those salutations. Straighten the arms and the legs, lengthen your spine. Good, now step your right foot all the way up in between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor. Bring your hands to your right knee and upright your chest. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, then bring your palms together. So feel your chest start to turn. Try to keep the hips level. Curl the back toes under and lift the back knee. So this is just like a deeper variation of the first twist we did with the elbow hooked. So same rules apply. Same idea or asana alignment, lines of energy we're looking for. Press through the back heel, lengthen through the crown, turn your ribs chest. Now lower the knee and the hands back to the mat. Turn your chest again. With the left hand down, reach back with your right hand. See if you can grab a hold of your left foot or ankle. So bend the knee, reach back. If it's tweaking your knee or your low back to do this, forget about it. Just put your hand on your hip instead and turn your chest. Otherwise, notice I've slid the knee back a bit, so I'm more towards the top of the knee. So I'm not like right on my kneecap. Release your foot if you're holding it. Bring your fingertips back to the mat and step your back leg forward. Step your forward leg back so you change sides. The left foot forward, right knee is back. Then bring the hands to your left knee and upright your chest. Inhale. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your knee, palms together. Curl the back toes under and lift your back knee up. Press through the back heel, lift the back thigh bone. Lengthen out through your crown. Now pull up your belly and turn your chest a little bit more without turning your hips. Try to keep the hips even. Stay balanced across your feet. Breathe evenly through your nose. Notice there's a tendency to hold the breath when you're in these strengthening postures. Bring your fingertips back to the mat and lower the back knee down. Point the toes back. Plant the right hand. Turn your chest, left hand on your hip or buttock. Now see if you can bend your left knee and reach back to grab a hold of your foot. Roll your left shoulder tip back. Open the chest. So unfortunately, if you have a side that's a little more tweaky with the knee and it would cause pain in the knee to do this, not such a good idea. So if you do this practice again, you did it on one side but not the other, you want to stay more balanced when you practice. So that goes for all the postures. If you have to back off on one side, back off on the other side. So you don't want to encourage misalignment in the body. You want to try to create a state of balance in the body. Move yourself back to downward facing dog. Then from dog pose, lower your knees down. And set your elbows down on the mat. Elbows right underneath your shoulders, turn your palms to face up. Now, without losing the external rotation, turn the triceps in, spin the biceps out, keep the hands wide and the elbows in, step back into plank pose. Now start to walk into down dog on your forearms, keeping the hands wide and the elbows in. This is really hard. This is like probably one of the hardest things for me. If you have tight shoulders, it's going to be really difficult. Keep the elbows in, keep the hands wide. See if you can walk the feet in close and lift your hips way up. So lift the butt bones up, press the forearms down, and now move the shoulder blades onto the back. Instead of feeling like they round, press them in, move the upper spine in, keep your ribs, your belly in. Now, the hardest, the most challenging, see if you can take one leg up without the hips twisting and lower it back down. Then other leg up without the hips twisting. Stay even on your elbows, lower that down. Good, lower your knees and sit back. So today's class was kind of designed, I have an elbow injury that I'm trying to rehab. So a lot of the stuff that I was doing was to try to rehab this elbow injury. So this class would be great if you have I'm not a doctor again, so check with your doctor first. But if you're trying to strengthen your external rotators and you are allowed to do weight bearing, but not much, this is a great flow because sometimes you take a Vinyasa class and it's like all on your arms, so many salutations. So this is a great alternative. All right, so now we're coming into gate latch pose. So come onto your knees, stretch your right leg out to your side, spin the thigh out just like in triangle, and as you press the left shin down, reach over to the side. Left shin is anchored, reach out towards your right toes. Keep pressing the left shin. Feel the stretch in the left side body. Then inhale, come back up and plant your right knee down next to your left. Knees hip distance, feet hip distance. Now take the left foot to the side and stretch the left leg out. So your left heel should line up with your right knee, so you can see mine's lined up with the mat. Take your arms out to the side and externally rotate the arms. Turn the palms up, then reach over to the side. Now there's going to be a tendency to just let all your weight sink towards your left heel. Try not to do that. Keep the right shin anchored to feel more of a stretch in your right side body. So it's like it's creating resistance. You can't fold as far as you'd like because the right shin is pushed, anchored towards the floor. Inhale to come back up. Put the left knee down. Knees go hip distance apart. Hands on your hips. Now start to roll your shoulders back and open your chest. Move in right where that block was in your upper spine. Start to move in. Roll the shoulder tips back. And with your legs, keep the shins pressing firmly. Inner thighs back, middle buttock in. Maybe the hands go to the heels, maybe not. Then press down into your shins and come back up. Sit back onto the heels. Interlace your hands in front of you and take your arms up overhead. Stretch your shoulders. Then come back up. Hands on your hips again. Roll your shoulders back, open your chest. So press the shins down. Let's start from the legs. Spin the inner thighs back. Now lift up through the front of your hips. Lift up your belly. Lengthen through the front of the hips. And as you roll your shoulder tips back, pretend like that block or whatever you had in your back, foam roller, is in your back again. It's moving your upper spine in so much that your fingers are going to drop back and touch your heels. Press down into the shins and come back up. Sit back on your heels. Interlace your fingers again with the other index finger on top and reach the arms up. All right, now bring the arms back down and sit your hips off to one side, to the left side, and cross your right ankle over the arch of your left foot, Bharavajrasana. Twist to your left. Change sides. Sit over to the other side, left ankle crosses on the arch of the right foot. Sit up tall and twist to your right. Release and stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Sit in Dandasana. Bend your left knee back like a tree pose leg. Sit up tall and reach your arms up. Angle your chest towards your right foot. Lift up your low back, lift your sacrum so you're not sinking. Then reach for your right foot. Fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Stretch your left leg out. Bend your right leg back like a tree pose leg. Inhale the arms up. Turn your chest towards your left foot. And exhale, reach out over your left leg. Inhale, come back up. Stretch your right leg out. Both legs straight out. Now lie on your back and take the legs straight up. It's like upside down Dandasana. Alright, now this next pose is safe if you don't have any neck issues. If you have some neck issues, just do seated forward fold instead. Otherwise, with the hands at your side, roll the shoulder tips towards the floor and take your legs overhead. Grab a hold of the sides of your sticky mat and pull it out to the side. Spin your biceps out, press the shoulder tips down. So now root the toes into the floor, lift the thighs away from the floor, and round the buttocks towards the heels. Neck is long, you're looking up towards the shins. Now slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll yourself out. And keeping the control of your middle, slowly lower your legs all the way down. We need to do any abs so that you could do that really well. Alright, now relax. Adjust the blades, adjust the buttocks. Shoulder blades down the back, buttocks out of the low back.